I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this whole issue, which is that you've got to get rid of everything that's not really making a difference. You just have to get rid of it. You have to become ruthless at this. If there's a skill that you need to learn, it's being able to get rid of things. Now, if you have a whole organization, you're commonly good at this sort of thing. But if you don't have an organization, it's probably a skill you need to build, which is to just get rid of everything. And there's a couple of, most people don't delegate, by the way. Simple reason, which is fear. They're just afraid. What are you afraid of? You're afraid it's not going to get done right. We all know that we're the smartest people we ever met. And we're also like the best people at doing the one thing that we're really good at. And so how could we possibly give it away to somebody else? And yet, if we took the time to train somebody, it might change, but we're never going to take that time because we know there's nobody else who can do it as well, right? So here's what I want you to do. It's a structure for delegation. This actually makes delegation work. There are 5 steps to it. If you leave out any one of the steps, you will fail. If you noticed, I'm not big on numbering things, but I numbered this one because I want you to remember that there's 5 steps. So the first step is very simple. What is being promised or being asked? Get great clarity about this. This, by the way, is very similar to what I was talking about this morning about writing outsource specs, right? What's being promised? So many people aren't clear on what's being promised. And what are the conditions for which that promise is actually going to work for you? And if you do those 2 things, you're so far ahead of everybody else. But that's number 2. There's number 3, which is, are there milestones? Hey, you know what? A thing that's going to take a day, there's no milestones. A thing that's going to take a week, probably no milestones. A thing that's going to take a month, you've got milestones, and you and your delegee better know what they are. You do that, things start to work out for you. When will it be done? So many of us. Would you do this for me? When will you get it done? We forget the when will you get it done part. And then lastly, how much and how will you communicate? This last one is the one that gets forgotten 99% of the time, which is, and again, over the course of a day, it doesn't matter, but over the course of a week, it might, and over the course of a month, it's really going to make a difference. You do these 5 things, and all of a sudden, delegation starts to work. So it's powerful. It's simple, but it's powerful. You have to do all 5 things. If you don't, if you miss any one of them, your ability to delegate will suffer. And your results will be bad, and you'll go back into the mode of like, oh, I can't delegate, or I don't get good at delegate, or everybody around me stinks and they can't do it. But if you follow these 3 things, 5 things, it'll work. Now, part of it, and this is very important, is the whole thing of feedback. Very simple. What worked? What didn't work? What's not working? What do you need? What's missing? And then lastly, what are we going to do next? That's a feedback loop. And if you do that after every time you delegate something, after a while you won't have to do it anymore, but it improves the communication mechanism and it'll allow you to start to get things done through the medium of other people, which is what I call leadership, on a regular and consistent basis, and it's going to work for you. So this is a reality check, and the reality check is this. Is there somebody who's going to take over all these things that I'm asking you to give up? And if the answer is no, it's something you have to work on. Because I'm asking you to get rid of everything that you can't possibly do or shouldn't be doing because it's beneath you, you know, economically and spiritually and all that other stuff. But now you have to find somebody else who's going to do it. So if you don't have such a one, you have to get such a one. So that causes its own problems. I'm not going to address those now. We may later. Make sure that the value of the things that you're doing is equivalent to what you are actually getting paid. Otherwise, you're losing money and time. And then you actually have to find out if you have the cash to pay people. This is the reality check. So I'm putting these things in here because I want you to be cognizant of them. Okay. I'm going to skip this too. It was a cheat sheet, and we don't have time for cheating. So I want you to remember this one question, which is, what is your highest valued contribution? Take this away from you. It'll change your business. And do those things. I've given you some tools that are going to help you maximize the time that you use to focus on those things. If you take them on, it's like this. Get more of the higher valued stuff done. And what happens is more cash flows into your business and more results flow out of your business. And then you keep some of that cash and you use it to make your systems better and you use it to hire some people and you can expand that way. If you don't take these things on, what's likely to happen is you kind of stay the same in the same level of performance that you are, and we don't want that to happen. So this is pretty easy. What's my highest value contribution? Do only that, and don't do anything else. You only have 3 choices. You can delegate it to somebody in your organization if you have such a one. You can outsource it, and we spoke about that this morning. And then there's just a whole host of things hey, face it, they're not going to get done. Now, there's things the government wants us to do that you have to do, right? And don't ignore those for too long. You know, there's things that your creditors want you to do, and you can't ignore those for too long. There are costs. There's a penalty. But other than that, you just don't do all these things. There's a whole host of things that do not need to get done by you. It'd be nice if they got done, but they don't need to get done, and you've got better things to do. I want you to do the better things.
Hi, this is Paul Lemberg. If you want to get all 15 free Time Management Secrets videos, then go to www.turbotimemanagement.com and sign up. And I'll see you over there.